Math minute number 38. Problem 1, we're subtracting fractions, but what we notice is that they have a different denominator. So I have to find a common denominator for those two. So this is the idea of multiples. So I'm going to find multiples of 5 and 10. And then we're going to figure out which is the lowest number they have in common. So the first 5 multiples of 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. First 5 multiples of 10 would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I look at the list. What's the smallest number they have in common? Well, it's 10. So that's going to become my new denominator. What I noticed that the 10 didn't change here, so that's going to stay 1 over 10. But then this 5 became a 10 here, so I have to ask myself, what did I multiply 5 by to get 10? Well, I multiplied it by 2. So I need to do that same thing to the numerator here. So 1 times 2 is 2. Now that I have the same denominator, I could just subtract the top number, the numerator. 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answers are going to be 1 over 10. Number 2, circle 3 consecutive decimals in the grid that have a sum of 0.8. Well, let's do the rows first. So if I added these 3 numbers in the top row, I would get 0.16. If I added these 3 in the middle row, I'd get 0.6. And if I added the bottom row, I would get 0.13. So I haven't found 0.8 yet. So now let's do the columns. This column, if I added these up, would be this would be 1.6. That would be 0.6, and this would be 1.3, sorry. So now let's add these up. So this would be 1.1. If I added these 3 together, that would be 0.8, which is what we were looking for. So I'm going to circle this middle column. That would be 0.8. All right, number 3. This is an order of operations problem. So we always do the parentheses first. So 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So I'd have 0.3 times 6. And if I plug that into the calculator, I would get 1.8. All right, number 4, circle the net below that will create a triangular pyramid. So I kind of drew what that would look like. This would be a triangular pyramid where you have a square on the bottom and then you have 3 triangles that would connect on the top. And that would be shape C. If I were to fold this, I would get a triangular pyramid. Number 5, write the number 23 thousandths. So I have my decimal point. This is tenths. This one would be hundredths. And then this would be thousandths. Which is what I want. So my 3 has to go in the thousands place, which means the 2 is going to go here, and then I don't have any in the tenths place. So my answer is going to be 0.023. Number 6 says round the number 45.6 to the nearest tenth. Remember, when there's a line over the number, that just means it keeps repeating. So that 6 just keeps on going like that. And then this 6 right here is in the tenths place. So when we're rounding, the rule is I look to the number to the right, which is another 6. And if this number is a 5 or higher, which it is, it's going to make this go up 1. And then everything else goes away. So we would round this to 45.7. That would be rounded to the nearest tenth. Number 7, if I were to convert all of these to decimals, 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. That's already 0.5. 50% would be 50 divided by 100, which would also be 0.5. So this 0.05 would be the one that doesn't fit the other 3. Number 8, I have length times width, 1/2 length times width, base times height, and then length times width times height. Well, these 3 all measure area, whereas this measures volume. So this one would be the one that wouldn't fit with the other ones. You guys can cross out 9. And then number 10, if you look at these 3 colors, the thing they have in common is they all have 6 letters, whereas red only has 3 letters. So red would be the one that wouldn't fit with the other 3. And that concludes Math Minute 38.